Hey, Dave Ferry here. Welcome to this series of videos about using the Scenic Express scenery products. Today I'm going to show you some of the products that Scenic Express offers and how best to use them. So let's get started. All right, now we're going to talk about making foam putty, and sometimes this is called chunk foliage. Either term describes it. All it is glue. Now this can be tacky glue, it can be dilute matte medium, it can be white glue, mixed with any combination of scenic foam that you like, any colors or textures. And all you have to do is put some foam in a container. There's no quantities to this. And we're going to add enough tacky glue to the foam to give me the consistency of wet oatmeal. And what we're going to use the chunk foliage or the foam putty for is when we need to put foliage on vertical surfaces, or we need a place where we need to build texture and we need something we can actually handle and sculpt. The beauty of using tacky glue with the foam putty is that the tacky glue stays tacky or workable for almost 20 minutes. So you're not in a time bind to put this on your scenery. Now I want to make foam putty using the new Scenic Express Super Turf. This is Super Turf. It's sold in the bag and in a 32-ounce bottle. And all you need is some Super Turf in a container. I'm going to mix it with tacky glue enough so that it comes together to form the consistency of wet oatmeal. You can see it's white. Now it has flecks of white in it, but when it dries, it'll dry crystal clear. You can work this for about 20 minutes until the tacky glue finally sets up. And the beauty of this with the Super Turf is it works great on vertical surfaces and places where you need the foliage to stick and you can't add it using other methods. Here's the foam putty or chunk foliage that I made, and you can see when you need to put foliage on a vertical surface or someplace where you need height and you want the texture to stick, this is a perfect way to do it. Now the secret to this is that you don't want to really push it in place. You just want to kind of pat it down because you don't want to flatten it out. You want it to retain some texture. So just lay it in place and let the glue do the work. Let it hold it, because when it dries it'll all stick together and it'll give you a nice looking effect. All right, we also have the Super Turf, and I'm going to put this here just so you can see the comparison. And when the glue dries, of course, I'll show it to you so you can actually see the different textures. But you can see how easy this goes on. Tacky glue is tacky enough to hold this in place on a fairly vertical surface, so that it'll stay and give you texture places you normally couldn't apply a lot of really coarse texture. Now while the foam putty is still wet, this is the perfect time to add some additional foliage. And for this, I'm going to use the leaf flake in a shaker jar, and I'm just with my fingers going to sprinkle on a leaf texture. Now you see the leaf texture sticks right to the tacky glue, and it'll stay in place, and it just gives you another added dimension. Now you can also add some flowers to this, and here is some red scenic foam that I'm just sprinkling on here and there. There's enough tack in the tacky glue to hold the flowers in place until the glue dries. So that's foam putty or chunk foliage. The scenery products presented in this video are all available from Scenic Express at www.scenicexpress.com.